Hi, my name's Kush Changela, and I'm going to tell you how I went from being this close to failing the third grade to graduating first in my class as valedictorian of my high school, getting into UNC, and starting my first business as soon as I turned 18. So for those of you who remember, failing the third grade is not an easy task to do because we didn't really do much. But ever since I was a young kid, I had always struggled with having ineligible handwriting and not able to read at the right grade level. And it had gotten to the point where I was being put in separate classes with the other kids who were struggling. And it felt demoralizing. I thought I just wasn't good enough. And when end of grade testing finally rolled around, I just didn't make the cut. It took my dad having to go into the school and begging them just to let me retake it. And even when I did retake it, I barely passed. So I was going into fourth grade not knowing if I could just make the cut anymore. But luckily I had a great teacher. And she decided to work with me one-on-one because she believed in me. So while other kids were out playing recess, me and her, we would go through problems. And then one day we had a breakthrough. I remember because she started crying and I started because I was getting problems right. I was getting them all right. So from there, I never really had a problem anymore with reading. And I felt comfortable doing it. And from there, I gained confidence knowing that I can handle these tough problems. So going into middle school, I knew I had a lot of problems with speaking. I couldn't present. I said and like too much, and people didn't really pay attention to what I was saying anymore. So what I decided to do is I got out of my comfort zone, and I took speech and debate. I'm so glad I did because I fell in love with it. I ended up taking 4 semesters of it throughout middle school and high school, and I went to competitions, and I took part in speaking events and debates, and those are some of my fondest memories in high school now. And from all that, I figured out that I could do anything I set my mind to, no matter how big the roadblock was, no matter how inexperienced I might be in it, I knew I could handle it. So I ended up saying, you know what, I'm going to get all A's in high school, and I did, and I graduated valedictorian. And at the end of high school, I had an idea for a business based on my tutoring experience. So I told my friend and said, hey, let's do this. We built a website, we hired tutors, we found clients, and it's still a success, and I still run it today. So from all that, I figured out that I can do anything I put my mind to. So even when I was in college here at UNC and I wanted to change my major, I decided to tackle it head on. And I changed it to CS with 2 more years to go, and I love it. I love building things, and I want to build the future because I believe I can do it. So my plan after I graduate now is to keep working on different businesses and startups because I found that I love working on them so much because I want to make an impact in what I do. The most latest one I worked on, and the one that actually made me place second in the UNC pitch party competition about a year ago, is something called Dine and Dash, which lets you pay for your meal at a restaurant by simply scanning a QR code and then paying with it using some payment form like Google Pay or Apple Pay. And I want to keep working on solutions that are neat like that because I think that they'll change the world and the way we do things. Besides that, my plan B, if that doesn't work out, or I decide not to work in startups anymore, would be to instead just go for a traditional software job and then work my way into product management. Because in the end, while I love coding so much and I love building things, I want to be part of the business side of it. I want to be able to figure out what we want to build to help different customers and improve the entire business. I want to be entrepreneurial inside the business if I can, because that's what I'm passionate about. Thank you.